Welcome to Unicorn Adventures, where fun creative professionals take a break from business to play my role-playing game. Today we are going to a place we've never gone before, which is the desert. That was a very interesting thing to write. But before we jump into the world of make-believe, I want my players to actually introduce themselves to you all. Madhurima, would you like to talk about what you do in real life before we jump into the land of make-believe?
For sure. Hello, everyone. I am Madhurima. My name goes like a wave, so it's Madhurima. I am a global stress management facilitator, and I love supporting multi-passionate, ambitious dreamers manage their stress and prevent burnout so that they can do everything that they want to do without their own selves holding them back. I'm also on a mission to make stress management fun, and this is one of the ways that I do that. So let's go. I'm super excited. Woohoo.
Fantastic. Tanya, tell us about you.
My name is Tanya Tyler. I am the CEO and founder of Confident Strides. I love to walk and get my mind cleared. What I do primarily is I'm a podcast host of the Coffee with Tea, and I'm also a Meetup Pro organizer, which actually just means I build community. So that's what I love to do.
Fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about telling people stories. We're going to talk about stress and sandstorms, as they frequently come in the desert. We're now going to dive fully into this entire world of make-believe. And I'm going to start with you describing your characters a little bit. So in this case, Alice, could you describe yourself to us as Alice?
For sure. So Alice is this amazing female magician who, okay, I guess we're going there. Because I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alice is this female magician who has the power to see the future and can control fire. And her goal in life is to essentially reignite the flame and fan the flame of passion within people's hearts so that they can keep using their inner fire to do the things that they love doing. And yeah, she's a female magician and she looks pretty hot, if I do say so myself.
It's true. Queen and I, would you like to tell us about you?
Yes, I think if I recall, I'm queen, but I think I have the animal spirit. Oh wow. I love the truth. That's my power. I can tell if you're lying or not. I can read your mind and tell if you're a truth teller. That's what I seek, the truth in people and how to tell your story.
And I believe you have the power to make people shut up. You wrote it so very eloquently.
Yes, I have the power to make people quiet so I can read their minds. Thank you for that gentle reminder. Yes, I can and read their minds.
Very good. So not a terrible surprise that two such outspoken and forward-thinking characters should align together. What you have heard at this point is from your various ways that there exists somewhere out in the desert a tomb of sorts in which is buried the king of the desert, which is a moniker that is new, that is not something that is currently held. It is popular to be a king of a nation, but not the king of the desert. That is a strange moniker to be held by anyone. You know that he had tremendous ways of overcoming, be it stress, be it just the entirety of life and how it was to not just be the king of a kingdom, but an entire desert. However, how he did it, what sorts of things are there, you have no clue. You know that this is relatively lost territory, and you two meet each other on the edge of the desert in a small village where you are preparing to embark into the desert. And you realize that both of you are actually looking for the same tomb and should perhaps travel together. At this point, I leave it entirely up to you. It is your choice whether or not you would like to look for a guide, if you would just like to speak to the animals and various spirits and see if you want to just travel on this on your own. In front of you is a vast landscape of desert, not very familiar to you. How you want to traverse it is your choice. What would you like to do next?
Can we ask questions to you,
Yes.
the DM? Okay. Will we potentially meet other people along the journey, or is it just the two of us?
There are people here in this small little village. If you go out in there, you might meet other people.
Ah.
Because I'm thinking you have the power of mind reading, and I can see the future. So do we need a guide?
I think we can call the spirits right now to guide us.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to call the spirits to guide you?
Yes,
Oh.
I think Miss Alice, is that what we're going to do? We're going to call the
Yeah,
spirits.
yeah. Let's call the
Alright.
spirits.
So for the first pull of this game, because this is how it works, when you try to interact with the world, we're going to pull a card and see how well you succeed at calling the spirits, or if the spirits know. With a 9, pretty good. I will say that as you see the vast expanse in front of you, which to you looks very much like this, as you look out, there are things in the distance you're not aware of, but you can very easily see that there's a road, there is a path. And the spirits very much tell you that for a while, simply travel the same path that everyone else has traveled, and then there's no need to go off into the unknown. You get a sense that things are a little bit muffled because it's a 9. It's a good card, but it's not the best of cards. Things are muffled further down the road in the future, but for now, the idea is to travel by the road. What would you like to do?
I think, Miss Alice, we need to travel by the road.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah. Let's do that.
Let's
Maybe somewhere
travel,
down
my
the
friend.
road. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
All right. You make your way onto the road. Do you, are you grabbing any sort of provisions? You have the very, very essential basics, but are you grabbing anything extra that you want from this village to try to barter with? Or, no, we're good, we're set, we're going to figure things out in the desert?
I'm gonna say water and food supplies because I can control fire, not wood, and we're gonna die out pretty quickly if we don't have the proper resources along the journey. But what do you think, Queen Anaya?
I think, Alice, we need a torch or something to create fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, in case we got to burn something up, we could do that.
Yeah. Oh, can we look at the desert landscape? Is there stuff there that we could potentially burn?
Just as you're looking out at it?
Yeah.
It looks like there may be various shrubs.
Trees.
You're not going to create a large fire, but potentially you could create something that you could cook on. You're not going to be able to create any sort of fire that will last through the night or anything like that. It will be something short-lived for sure.
That's what I was thinking. Something short we could eat. We gotta
Mhm.
eat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna grab some handy resources like water, stuff to eat, stuff to burn.
And Miss Alice, here's another thing. We can grow a little bit faster since I'm the animal spirit. You're a beautiful queen. You can hop on, and we can make this together.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
Okay. As you are acquiring the water and some of the other food, I don't know what an animal spirit specifically eats, but whatever it is that you're acquiring at this point, you hear a couple of the merchants murmuring a little bit to themselves, and one of them also sort of to you, something about a sandstorm, of just, care for the sandstorm, be wary of the sandstorm. You just hear that a few times. As you look out on the horizon, no sandstorm. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you just hear it in passing. Do you want to inquire further, or you're going to be on your way?
I would say inquire further. What about you, Queen Anya?
I think we need to, let's tune in a little bit more.
Okay. Do you want to? There's a couple of the merchants that you were getting things from. One kind of more of the food, another one that's near sort of a well system, who seems to be in charge of the water specifically for the village. Which one would you like to speak with?
Hmm. What do you think, Miss Alice? I think the merchant with the water.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be good. But they might be potentially doing it. Can we do something along the lines of, okay, how do you read minds? Do you need them to shut up? Like, is it a instantaneous thingy, or
I
is it
can
like,
sense it by the time they're moving their lips. I can sense.
okay, so we can know if someone's just trying to bluff their way into it or they're being legit with what they're sharing. Okay. So yeah, I think it would be cool to ask the merchant by the water just so we know what he's bluffing about and what he is not bluffing about.
Okay. So you approach the merchant, and in this way, I say probably to make it easier, Alice can be the one doing the asking, and then Queen and I can be kind of in the back trying to read. What we're going to do is, as you speak with him, if you want to know whether or not he's telling the truth, instead of just pulling one card, I'm going to give you advantage. We're going to pull two cards, and we're going to pick the highest card. It just gives you double the chance to actually know that it's true. But it doesn't mean you immediately will know that it's true, because some people are that much better at believing the lies they believe in their heads and maybe thinking they're telling the truth, even though it is a lie. That's how we'll work around that magic. What would you like to ask the water merchant specifically?
Do we have a limited number of questions?
No, you're having a
No?
conversation.
Okay.
You've just purchased stuff from him. He's a little bit
Yeah.
more inclined to speak with you.
I would like to ask him what I would like to ask him about the sandstorms and what is happening in that space. Like, how often do these sandstorms kind of hit this space, and how drastic can they be?
The sandstorms are well, you can see I need a sip of water. The sandstorms, they well, they come about every couple of weeks around this time of year, and it always seems worse whenever they come by. Even if they don't hit the village, it's a darker time around here. It just feels more desperate. Like nobody cares anymore. I'm not a man of magic myself, but if I was to guess, it's no regular sandstorm. It's why this village is so small. Most people don't like to stay here for more than a couple of sandstorms, and then they leave.
Why are you staying here?
I've got a monopoly. I've got a good business on water, and nobody else can do what I do, apparently.
Why do you think this is a magical sandstorm and not something that's natural?
It's the way I see it affect travelers. Even those that stay here for a couple weeks, they just change whenever the sandstorm comes by. They just
How,
act differently. And the way the animals move, it's not just sand.
how do they change? What changes about them?
Just more erratic, more angry. They feel like they want to lash out at everyone and everything.
So the anger is not specific, but the anger is general. So it's not directed towards something, it's general.
It's more like they're irritated. I try to stay away from people whenever the sandstorm comes near.
How do you protect yourself during a sandstorm?
I drink water, and I stay away from people.
So I want to check if this dude is saying the truth or
The
not.
truth? Okay, let's check.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
check
yeah.
it out. We'll pull two cards.
Solely because his only response was, I drink water. Which is like, are you doing this to run your own business? Which, hell yeah. But also, is he saying the truth?
So the first card was a 2,
Ooh.
but the other one was a 9. So
Hey.
we will take the 9 in this case. He genuinely seems like he's telling the truth. At this point, you've purchased water from him. He sees no reason why he should lie or try to do anything. Doesn't seem like he's just doing this for business. Seems like he's found a line of work he's relatively good at. He likes doing, and even though it doesn't seem pleasant, it kind of it is what it is mentality for him specifically.
Mhm. Thank you for that. What do you think, Queen Anaya? Do we have to ask him? Do you want to ask him any more questions? Anything that comes up for you?
No, I think, like you said, I think he's telling the truth. And what I'm feeling like he avoids people because he just doesn't want to get caught up in that whole dark magic or whatever that happens. So he's protecting himself.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the questions that I had for him was how to stay safe in a sandstorm, and what usually happens is anger. Could we ask him how does he like how long does the effects last?
Oh, well, if you go into the Sandstorm itself, I've only seen one person come back. But probably an hour after it passes, people feel much better. But that's when it's nearby. If you go in it, well, let's just say I wouldn't want to be on the other side.
Is the person who came back alive still around, or
I saw
they
her
left?
once. She came back by through the village. She was way different. She had some kind of tattoos or light under her eyes. I don't. It looked like lightning. I stayed away. I find that's best. She didn't stay
Did she
long.
did she speak to anyone after coming back? Have you heard rumors of any sort? Things that she might have whispered?
For all intents and purposes, nobody welcomed her back. She seemed to see things differently. She kept talking about what did she say? The desert king of the desert. Just nonsense. She was just constantly saying nonsense like that. I don't know.
Was there any person from the village who sticked around and listened to said nonsense? Or did everyone just walk away?
Not that I know. She stayed in a tent with one of the travelers, but they've left months and months ago, and that was the last time we saw her as well.
Do you have her name? Anything to remember her by outside of her tattoos?
Well, I don't know what she may go by now, but if it was the same as before, we knew her as Terrell.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that's about it for me. Queen Anaya.
Well,
I am listening and I am ready to go.
stay hydrated, please.
Will do. Merchant will do.
You see him like sheepishly kind of pull up a bucket, kind of, like, don't forget.
You seem nice.
So you are now looking across back at this landscape with the road. Would you like to continue forth and venture out?
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. Let's go.
Okay. Effectively, what I'm going to do in this case is, and I'm going to actually add a card for you because you're doing a very interesting thing of using the combined powers to travel together. We're basically going to do blackjack rules. I'm going to pull 4 cards, and the total needs to be above 21. If the total is above 21, you succeed. You have no issues. If it is below, well, we'll get into what kind of fun stuff happens if it is below that. So the first one is a 3. The next one is a king, which is 10. So you're at 13. Good. A 5. We're at 18. Oof. And a queen.
Oh, let's go.
You are at 28. You very well succeed. Not very difficult with the way that you're traversing everything. As you walk, you notice that definitely vegetation is starting to get a little more sparse, and you make several hours your way through. You're noticing, yes, the sun is really beating down. You're staying hydrated, especially according to to the man you spoke with. You're remembering his wise words. You see that you're starting to rise up towards the horizon where you saw before, almost like a dune. Nothing special about it, just seems to be a much larger dune compared to all of the others. As you come to the top, you know that you're about to crest the very top, and possibly something else is going to open up in front of you. Would you like to do anything differently, or nope, still just keep on approaching? Yeah, what is your choice now? The road seems to continue that way, by the way.
Can we see the future? Can I see the future? Quick check.
You can definitely look into the future. What specific thing do you want to see in the future?
Queen Anna, any thoughts on what I should check into in terms of the future?
Well, I'm one of those go-getters. I'm like, I'm just going, you know. I'm a go-getter. I'm like, we gotta trust the spirits. We know we are well equipped. Let's just keep going. We've made it this far. Let's keep going.
I would like to check if it is safe to keep if I were to cross the dune, is it still gonna be safe at the very top? If I look down, is it still gonna be safe? Or is there going to be something that we need to be prepared for?
With a 10, you get that there is something you need to be prepared for, but it will be safe. That there is something different you haven't yet seen ahead of you that is going to shock and surprise you, but not in a negative way. There is something ahead that is different than you've ever seen before, but not negative.
Okay, amazing. That sounds amazing. I can keep going forward.
You were lucky you pulled that card.
I know.
You make your way as you crest over the hill, and the road seemingly starts going away. And it's interesting because it seems that the wind has very much picked up on this side of the dune. Where you were, it wasn't as much. And you notice that actually the road seems to almost be kind of swept away a little bit more. And you realize maybe you don't quite see as much as you do before. And what you see in front of you is another enormous landscape. But now you're seeing some more of those far away rocks, maybe mountains that you might have seen. And what you notice further down in this valley, you see that further ahead, the road might continue and widen a little bit more, but where you are, it's a little harder to decipher where the road is. There seems to be some sort of a oasis, water-based something that seems to be just further ahead of you. What would you like to do?
You know my answer. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm one of those. Let's go.
It's gonna be safe. I know it might shock us, but let's go. Let's keep going. I'm prepared. Somewhat.
So, looking at all of this, is there anything specific that you want to be going for? Are you just trudging straight ahead into kind of the water oasis? Are you trying to navigate around it and go towards the road that you know that you might need to be following? Where are you trying to go at this point?
I have to know where we are with our water, because if we don't know what we have, might have to refill up right now. So I don't know where we are with our water.
You haven't been traveling for that long. You're still fairly fine because you took about 2 days worth of water with you. It's only been maybe half of the day at this point of travel. You're good, but also you don't know where the next possible place to fill your water will be. So it's up to you.
How far away is the road from the oasis? Can we have an basic understanding? Because it does seem that the road is kind of close by, so we could go to either of those and still be in fair distance of each other for us to not waste up too much energy and resources.
You could. You don't. It seems that if you went straight for the road and didn't even try to stop at the oasis, you would probably get to the road again by the end of the day, closer to nightfall. Um, Otherwise, you are right. They're relatively close. You're probably going to have to camp at the oasis. Um,
Let's camp at the Oasis. I mean, Queen Anaya, how much energy do you have? You've been traveling with us uh, for half a day. If you need
I'm
rest,
with
we
you,
can
Miss
rest.
Alice. I am following. I'm with you. Wherever you go, I'm there with you, my friend.
Amazing. Let's do a quick stop at the Oasis before heading off to the road.
all right. You make your way down the dune. It's a little bit treacherous. It's a little harder now to ride and do all that. You kind of have to separate, and you each have to make your way down on your own as you're kind of gliding down, trying to walk. Being an animal spirit, I don't know. Would you say you're heavy as an animal spirit, or you look very big, but you're actually incredibly light because you're more of a spirit? Which way does it go?
I look heavy, but I'm light as a feather.
And it's marvelous noticing that she's kind of gliding on the sand. That it's not even making an impact. It's almost like sand surfing down this dune. It's a very magical thing to witness, especially with all the purple hair and the pink hair flying, and it's quite something. You're making your way down. You notice that once you get down to the dune, it's not quite to the oasis. It still takes you about 40 minutes to get to the oasis. And as you walk in, there's a very strange hush that you're noticing of the oasis. It's eerily quiet, not in like a undead way, but just muffled in a strange way. Do you want to proceed further into the oasis or do something else?
What do you think?
I say we made the decision to go into the oasis. Let's continue on with our plan.
Yes, let's go then.
All right. How are you walking in? Who's leading? Who's in front? Who's behind? Are you side by side? How are you walking into this?
I believe I'm in the front because if I have to run or protect my buddy, I can do that.
I was about to say side by side so that we can cover each other's back, but anything. Yeah. I think we kind of keep going back and, back and front, back and front. So yeah.
As you're walking in, there's a moment where both of you are in awe as you look in front of you and see, strangely, some amount of water and shrubs, but across all of them, almost a sea of these little orange flowers. And immediately, both of you have the urge to sneeze. So I'm going to pull a card for each one of you to see whether or not you are able to stifle your sneeze, or if you outright just full on sneeze. Unless either one of you wants to just let it go and doesn't care and will sneeze regardless.
Let's I don't know. I like pulling the card kind of a thing, but yeah, I'm
Okay.
not for pull a card because I want to see if the
We'll
fates are
pull
with us.
cards. You got a queen and a jack. Both of you are able to hold it in, and you don't sneeze. And then as you look, you notice that one of the flowers lifts and starts moving away and floating away from you. And then a couple others. And as you look at it, you realize that what you see in front of you were not flowers, but just a littering of butterflies.
Good thing we didn't sneeze.
I know. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I have a random ass question. Oh my gosh, can I swear? Yeah. I have
Yeah.
a random question, which is butterflies like these usually gather in these many kind of numbers around dead creatures to kind of, I don't know if this is taking that dark a turn yet, but they do kind of my brain is in overdrive right now. Oh my gosh. But yeah.
Here's what we'll do is I'll have you make a nature check. So depending on how well of a card you draw, then I will tell you what you may know about these specific butterflies. With a 4, sure, maybe dead creature. No, might be.
Okay, because
Oh,
okay,
I have a question. Is that one card per each? I was like, I didn't pull my card. Did I pull my card?
Would you like to also try to make a
I'd
nature
like to
check?
pull my yes. I'd
Yeah.
like to.
Okay.
That's
A 5. Maybe not dead, but also no clue. They seem like butterflies. It doesn't seem. You don't notice as you try to kind of sniff around. You don't smell anything, rotten or deadly. There is the water. You can always try to inspect the water. Perhaps there's something there, but yeah, not really sure. It seems that they're just something about this area has really attracted them. Perhaps they're breeding here. Perhaps this is a migratory aspect for these butterflies. Not sure.
okay. Two questions that come up for me then is one, is the water safe to drink for us to refill it?
my question is, as the animal spirit, can I speak to the butterflies?
You can certainly try. I will say, since you didn't have animals speaking as one of your things, I'll allow it as a magic, especially since you can read thoughts and those kinds of things. But these are also insects, so there's so much that you can do with this. So if you would like to, you absolutely can. If you want to inspect the water, you're welcome to inspect the water. The question is, how are you going to inspect the water, really?
Well, pulling from past experience, I never drink water from outside source anyway. But that's my humanness that kicks in.
Yes, and I'm also thinking we can just take the water and heat it up because I have fire magic and it purifies the water for us. So we can then go ahead and just store it after boiling it up. I know.
But we didn't really need water. I thought that was the thing. We were just here.
But this
to
might be
sleep.
the only oasis for a while before we find water again. So it's to kind of have it as an additional resource because it is also the only thing that's going to help us with the sandstorm. I don't know. What do you think? We can do that.
My concern is how much weight does this add? Because we still have to travel quite a bit of ways.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
I will tell you, by the way, at this point, you're at about 60% of the water that you've taken with you.
We can just refill it up to the top.
We're at 60 to 7% of used or having it. That's what I'm confused.
You still have about 60-70% of the
Okay.
water that you started with.
Let's stop it up and then continue on our journey just for the sake of it. Just because there's going to be two of us against the sandstorm and I don't want to be unprepared, is what I'm thinking.
Well, Alice, I would say use your magic because I'm not mixing our good water with this water.
Makes sense. Yeah, we would like to do that. And my second question is, are these butterflies leading us somewhere? Is there a path that they're leading us to?
Doesn't seem to be a path. Just seems to be a bunch of butterflies on water.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
what you got from the
that's-
nature check.
I
So are you trying to do something with the water?
don't know, Queen Anna, if you're feeling like it might be a hesitant move to do something with the water, like it might not completely purify, my fire might not completely purify it, it's better not to take the risk. It's up to you.
I believe water will purify it, so let's do it. Let's tap it up. Get ready for the next
Yep.
move.
Let's do that.
Okay, so you are trying to take some of the water, use your fire magic to purify it?
That's right.
Okay. Since you're doing that, we're gonna first pull for the fire magic to see how effective it is on the water.
Okay, yeah.
And I will, because you're actually using that, and it's not just a random fire; it's actually magic. We will again do 2 cards, and I'll pick the higher one for you, and then we'll see what the water does after that. So that's a 4 and a Joker.
Ooh.
So, for those that do not know, a Joker effectively means that something interesting, different, crazy, chaotic happens. And with a Joker, it's my choice what happens. There's another card in the deck called the Unicorn card, and then it's one of the player's choices. But in this case, it's my choice what happens. So in this case, you are able to purify the water. And as you pour more and more magic into it to make sure that it's actually evaporating and then condensing at the right rate and that everything feels correct in terms of the way that it has to do it, you realize that you're noticing almost like a floral scent from the water, especially as it evaporates and as you see some of the steam coming off. The smell is very, very floral. And you're seeing the butterflies starting to flutter and trying to get closer to a lot of the steam. As it is there. You're able to completely purify the water, but strangely enough, the container that you have it in, you notice that this water now has a strange rose kind of colored tint to it and smells very, very strongly of flowers. Would you like to combine it with the rest of your water?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Queen Anaya, what do you think? No, right? Like, yeah, we'll keep it separate. If we need to combine it, we'll combine it somewhere down the line, but let's keep it in the separate container for the time being.
Okay. It is now getting closer and closer to sunset, which is quite majestic and beautiful, especially with the butterflies as you see them there. It is your choice. You can continue through the night, make your way out to the road, and make your path along the road at night. If you don't sleep, you're going to be that much more tired for the next day, but also you're probably going to drink way less water because the sun is not beating down on you. So it is your choice if you'd like to make camp, continue going. What would you like to do?
Queen Anaya, it's your call.
Alice, I'm thinking I'm gonna go. Because we're in an unseen territory, we don't know what's out there. Let's camp for the night. I think we can travel best during the day so we can have more visibility.
Sure, let's go.
All right. I pulled a jack for basically the both of you. You're able to find some good shelter that's a ways away from the water, so that nothing necessarily gets wet, and you're not worried about butterflies flying into your mouth or covering your nose or something. And yet you're able to find some relative shade, so the first morning rays aren't just gonna give you a sunburn as they wake you up. That you're gonna be covered as you're waking up. Both of you fall asleep, and interestingly enough, uneventful sleep for Queen Anaya. Alice, your entire sleep is seemingly filled with you running through fields of flowers, falling into piles of flowers. It seems that this floral scent that you have smelled in the making of whatever it is that you made with your magic and the water from this oasis is almost taking over in a way that's making you more and more fixated on it. Not in a way that you feel is dangerous, but in a way that almost a longing for that smell again. That kind of a feeling of where you go, I have this craving for that specific smell or taste. You're craving that smell. Both of you wake up, and you're hearing just a little ways away from you, almost like a sharpening, like stone on metal. Shing, shing, shing. What would you like to do?
I got a restful night's sleep, so
Yeah, you
I
better be the decision maker today.
um I think I have to talk with you. What is our purpose? What was our goal again? I
Is
want
to
to
Your
say us
find the
focus.
desert tomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your overall focus is to get to the tomb of the Desert King because of
Yeah.
the secrets and the stories and that he held, so that you can help other people overcome things or potentially learn from the ways that he did things.
With that goal in mind, Miss Alice, I say we need to keep going. We got a restful sleep. We need to get out of here. And if you I don't know what's affecting your fragrance, but it's time to get out of here. We don't
Yeah.
need to get curious and ask more questions and stay out of here. We just need to get out of here.
Yeah. I don't want to get addicted to anything that might not be healthy or safe. And I don't know what kind of effects it's gonna have on me. So it's better to kind of get away and get a nice fresh woof of air and nature to kind of take over instead of me taking over. And that's weird as scenario, but yeah.
So my answer is we need to get moving.
All right. As you're getting ready, you still hear the sound of shing, shing. It seems a little irregular. It's not as there's a couple seconds in between some, maybe even 10 or 15 seconds in between other times of that sound. As you're getting ready, the sound does not change or shift or do anything differently. Are you making your way through the oasis to the road that you saw previously?
Well, you're piquing my curiosity.
I know. And it's almost like you want us to go down that route and figure out and investigate.
I don't
Okay.
want us to separate, though. That's the thing. I don't want us to separate because do I know she's in that state?
Oh, you have no idea. No. And she doesn't seem to be necessarily any kind of. Both of you are hearing the sound. She doesn't seem to be in any kind of a different state necessarily. Well, actually, do you want to see if there's something different about her? Because you do have the ability to read minds, to be fair.
I forgot. So I have to ask her a couple of questions as to why
You
she's-
don't,
I
from the way
don't?
your
Oh,
powers
that's
work.
right. I forget about my powers. But how do I? She has to say something. I gotta read her mind.
You can just generally see, because in this case, you're seeing if her state is altered, if there's something different about the way that she is feeling or acting. And in this case, we're going to do two things. I'm going to pull a card for you, trying to figure something out, and I'm going to basically pull a card for her, since she's under the effect of something potentially, to see if it counteracts and is able to distract you from finding out the truth.
Ooh, okay.
That is a 6 for you. And the counteracting, amazing, is a 5.
Ooh.
So just barely, you get. It's interesting because you actually, in your mind, almost get a sense, and because you're an animal spirit, your olfactory senses are that much more heightened. You almost smell like you can feel it, but it's very much just a memory of a scent. And you can tell that potentially this creature is possibly charmed, is that there might be some kind of a charm effect on this creature. That is all that you know.
As the protector of the animal spirit, I'm protecting my instincts is protecting my partner here. That's my instinct, is to protect her and get her out of here.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
have to
because-
check with my Alice because I don't
No,
want no
see-
fight.
The thing is, my instinct goes, let's figure it out, let's find the answer. But also that I might be in a very delusional space. I'm not really sure. I might be like in the space of like, I want to stay here for as long as I can. Might be because I'm starting to get the craving of the smell. And I don't want to stay here. So I am gonna follow your lead on this, Queen Anaya. Wherever you take us, um, yeah, take us.
My instinct is saying we need to stay focused on what the task is, and we need to get out of here.
Okay. So are you doing is Alice going to be riding Queen Anaya? How are we doing this?
She is riding me, and we're out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. As you climb on, you hear the shing noise stop. There's a final ringing, and all of a sudden there's a stop. And as you start to move, you hear kind of that rushing of sand and the hushing of it as footsteps are coming across sand. This is coming from behind you, and at this point, I'm going to give you a choice. You can either choose to book it and run as fast as you possibly can, or turn around, or stay, or find out what else is happening. But it is your choice. And at this point, it's not Alice's choice because Alice is on top of you. So,
My instinct is like, get out of here. We're hauling butt. We're out.
perfect. So what we're gonna do here is, I'm gonna pull for you, and I'm gonna pull for the footsteps that are chasing you. You got a 6. You got a 6 last time. That's funny. Different 6. They got a 10.
Did they catch me?
They didn't. You are able to completely take off, and you're running, and it feels so nice and free. And the butterflies take off around you, and it looks amazing. It looks glorious. It's every slow motion capture cinematographer's dream to see this amazing shot of an animal spirit running through a cloud of orange butterflies. And as you make your way out of the oasis, you look back and realize, wow, you feel so light. You feel just so free that when you look back, you realize there's no Alice. You have just run off on your own.
I knew it. Dang it.
Alice, you have been tackled off of your steed by somebody else. You are not yet sure, as both of you tumble. In the midst of the tumbling, I'm gonna kind of give you a reaction opportunity. Is there anything you'd like to do? Do you want to try to predict the future? Do you want to try to push them off, scream, yell, just set the whole oasis on fire? What would you like to do?
I would like to activate my fire powers just as a protection, but okay. I want to do 2 pulls. 1, I would like to activate my fire power, and 2, I would like to know how in control I am of the fire at this point in time, because
Okay.
I don't know how much in my delusional state I am in right now to be able to control my fire. So 2 pulls. Can I control it really well, and can I get my fire to protect me?
At this point, what you can tell is you have complete normal control of your fire.
Okay.
It's just that it's one of those things of where it's almost like you have an itch that you're like, I just really need a sniff. I have that little bottle of the perfumed potion, if you would. I just really want a sniff of that. I'm good. I'm in control, but it would just be really nice. Oh, it'd be so nice to sniff that just one more time.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to get my fire out to protect me.
Okay. So as you tumble with this assailant, is there something specific you want to do with your fire? Are you creating some sort of a shield? Are you trying to blast them away? What would you like to do with your fire?
Almost like have it in my palm to then know how I would like to respond to it. Like, do I need to see what is happening in this scenario? To be pretty much in charge of, like, do I want to shoot this person away, or do I, just have it for my protection's sake? But yeah.
Okay. As you kind of scurry off, they kind of, with the tumbling, they kind of fall off of you. You come up with a palm that is, or a palm and fist full of fire, and they kind of crouch up as well and are staring at you. And interestingly enough, what you see opposite of you is this. You see what appears to be a woman with some sort of orange-colored something erupting from her back. Can't tell. And these almost lightning-like tattoos underneath her eyes as she stares at you.
Awesome. Okay, so first of all, full disclosure, this is literally my type of a woman. So I'm already having like a high level of crush on her. Not even gonna lie. And is this the girl that they were talking about? The villagers were talking about Tunnel. I can't remember her name.
Terrell.
Yeah.
Terrell.
Hey.
I mean, with the lightning tattoos, probably. Like, you've never seen anything like that before. Might be.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. Because I'm like definitely like, oh my gosh, she's attractive. So like my brain is
you see her put out her hand and grab your fist, and you immediately feel the magic starting to wane, as if she's trying to snuff out the fire that is within your fist. Would you like to resist, or do you want to let her do it?
I want to resist. I don't like someone telling me what to do.
Okay. All right, we're gonna pull 2 cards, one for her and one for you. She got a king.
Oh my good lord!
But guess what? You also got a king. And so as she puts her hand on your hand, you see and feel the fire wane, and you kind of look at her and just with that kind of attitude of, you're not going to tell me what to do. How absolutely dare you? You just put even more of that arcane energy into it as the fire starts to play, and you'll see her tear her hand away as she's not hurt, but it seems that she definitely felt the heat of that exchange.
Nice.
Before we go to what you would like to do next, we're going to go back to Queen Anaya. You just realized Alice is not on your back. What would you like to do?
I need to go back, go get my buddy.
All right. The way you ran out of here, you weren't really looking because you weren't thinking about going back. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to find your way back because you were just running so free and so happy through all the butterflies. You weren't really caring about remembering the way. So we're going to pull a card to see if you're able to figure out how to get back quickly or if it's going to take you a little bit of a while. With a 9, actually you do a pretty good job. You're able to figure it out relatively well. It's not that hard because you can very easily tell the patches where the butterflies have been spooked and the patches where they haven't. So you know where you came from is where there are not as many butterflies. You run your way back to it, and as you come to, you see these 2 standing there, your buddy with a fistful of fire, and this strange woman that is kind of staring at her, seemingly does not care even remotely about the fact that you arrived, meaning Terrell does not. But is there anything, Alice, that you would like to do next?
So we know she's Terrell. For sure, like confirmation.
Oh, you don't know. You were assuming. I figured the 2 of you were assuming. You can ask her.
Can I read her mind?
You can certainly try. And she's going to certainly resist. Oh, you got an ace, by the way, for mind reading. She got a 2, which is the lowest card, and it is a complete failure in this case. So you literally got the highest possible thing, and she got the lowest possible thing to be able to defend it. At this point, what I'm going to say is, because there's such a discrepancy, she was so completely taken aback and focused entirely on Alice that she could not figure anything out. You can basically ask me anything about this person, and I'll tell you whatever, to the degree that I'll allow it to be known. But how far do you want to know her childhood? What do you want to know? You can at this point know almost anything.
I want to know because she went through the windstorm. Is this is this Terrell? First of all, is this
is
woman?
Absolutely Terrell.
Okay, and I want to know if she's having the dark. Is she feeling the dark magic of it, or is she just how is she feeling? Because I know she's the one who dealt with the sandstorm, so she's the only survivor. So how is her overall? Is she a villain type mean, or is she just a scared type person? That's what I need to know.
You feel a very strong intensity. There's an intensity almost as it doesn't necessarily feel dark, but it feels like it has dark outlines, as if there's something pushing her and that is driving her to do some of these various things. And it's almost as if she wants more of that. She wants to be driven by that, and at the same time, it is harming her because it is driving her at such a pace and such an intensity that perhaps it is doing more bad than good in this specific case. But you can very much feel that she hasn't had in her past this much drive, and that there is some amount of pressure or something that is causing her to just believe that this is the way for her to proceed throughout the rest of the world.
So my question is also, is she affected by this oasis? If I take her out of this oasis, that's what I'm thinking.
You actually know that this oasis, there seemingly isn't anything strange or off about this oasis. This is a pretty normal oasis. And even potentially what you felt off of Alice, that's strange. That's not...
Okay, Alice is strange. Terrell is not.
Or something that happened with in this oasis, that is more because of Alice than the oasis itself, if you would.
Okay, so can I ask her if this is her safety spot? Does she feel like this is where she's...
I mean, just because you had that AC,
you
don't even have to ask. You can see that this is a place that she is frequently camped out, and that she has stayed a lot of the nights. By far, the vast majority of them alone.
Wow. So I'm wondering if she's willing to maybe team up and come with us. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, honestly, with an ace and a 2, just because it's such a discrepancy, you feel that there's a longing for her to figure out an answer to this turmoil that is within her, and that she seeks an answer, and she knows that there might be a place. She knows that there might be a tomb within which there might be an answer. And again, none of this is verbal. All of this is because of your awesome psychic powers.
So I'm feeling like we need to bring her along with us if she's not fighting. Are those two getting along?
I mean, at this point, I'll also say that you can obviously calm emotions and kind of just be like, hey, don't hurt my buddy. I don't know if we lost Alice or not because we don't have video.
I'm here. Just my camera.
Oh, good.
If my partner Alice is up to it, I would say invite her along with us on this journey so we can find the answers.
I'm down, but can you quickly recap for me, because I was desperately trying to get my vision back.
So what you have found out is that there seems to be some kind of a turmoil or something that is within Terrell. That there seems to be something maybe nefarious, like a power that is maybe a little nefarious driving her, but that she's using it for something positive to drive her and to find her her purpose in a way, but that is the long-term effects are not seemingly good, and that she's been staying at this oasis many times. She's been alone as she's been sort of cast out and left that village, and she knows of a tomb where potentially there is something that could be helpful. So that is what with the psychic powers you have basically found out. At this point, nobody has spoken to her. This has all been sort of psychic. She doesn't know that you know all of these things. Well, and technically only Queen Anaya knows all these things. At this point, Alice doesn't know that you know all of this because it's all psychic. So it's whatever you want to do next. She has, so Queen Anaya has calmed Terrell's emotions. So Terrell seemingly is not in a fighting stance anymore, but a little on guard, but just kind of waiting for you and staring at your flaming fist, maybe waiting for you to make the next move.
I would advise Alice to put her hand down. That's what I would tell her to do,
Yeah.
and communicate with her. That would be my advice. That's what I'm telling you in my head.
That's pretty good advice. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it because I'm on this journey with you. So, yeah, I put my hand down, but I'm still kind of on guard because I'm like, because I don't know what Queen and I knows. So I'm just like, okay, I'll listen to you, but also like, this girl did try to stuff my fire, which is like rude. Uh,
As you put down your hand, as you extinguish the fire and the hand goes down, your hand ever so slightly brushes the pocket where you're keeping the bottle with the floral liquid, and you have a really strong urge to grab and smell it. So I'm gonna pull a card. If you get anything, we'll make it relatively easy. If you get anything above a 4 at this point, you're able to resist it.
okay,
Otherwise,
I'm done.
with a 7, you're able to
Okay.
very much resist it. You kind of go, that was weird. That stuff does smell so good, but whatever. Not the time, Alice. And
Ooh,
as you look, go ahead.
can I just hand off the bottle to Queen Anaya? In this scenario, I'll be like, man, just take this away from me. I don't like the
You
itch
can.
and the itch.
You really don't want to. Like, you really, really don't want to. You can still do it, but you know that you're like, I don't want to. I really would rather kind of keep this. Maybe there's a voice in your head that's saying, but it's nice. It just smells nice. I like this.
Yeah, but I don't like it. So, okay, yeah. You know what? Can we pull a card because I would really like to give this off to Queen Anaya. In
Okay.
this scenario, yeah.
You give it off. Karina, I'm guessing the way that the spirit animal spirit is, you have some bags and things that you can that you've been, so you're able to put it away. Great. As you step away, Terrell is staring at the two of you because it's quite an odd sight to see, especially in these lands. Not only the animal spirit, but also this somebody with fire. And as she stares at the two of you, she immediately looks to Alice and goes, "So, you've finally come to kill me, haven't you?"
No, ma'am, I've never met you in my entire life, but not come here to kill you.
Then
No.
why are you here?
To find the tomb of the king.
What king? This is a desert. There is no nation here.
The desert king.
I would say it is nonsense that you're speaking, but I know of a tomb. It is a half day's travel if you're willing to go. I've been needing to go into it. You can tell there's a lot of self-control. There's a lot of something trying to burst out, and that she's holding back in. I've been meaning to go in there, but I know that it's not a venture you should do by yourself.
I want to ask her this. You tell me you do not know about the king, but you also do know about the tomb, so there's something missing here. What's missing here?
I don't know what is in the tomb. I've just heard whispers. I know that's where the sandstorm goes.
How do you know you can't go there alone? How do you know that it needs to be done in a pack of people?
Because when we went into the sandstorm, I was not alone. And I was the only one that came out.
So you have been to the tomb.
No. The tomb is where the sandstorm goes back to. But it travels all around the desert.
How far did you reach in your travels?
I've basically stayed near here most of the time ever since the sandstorm. I've gotten near the tomb, but I don't want to go in.
And yet you do.
There's something you should know about the sandstorm. It has immense power, but it will give you the motivation to do anything you want. But that motivation can also drive you to do everything you never wanted to.
Did that drive you to do good or bad in this scenario then when you were in the sandstorm?
So far, I've tried to stay away and just stay here, far
From your
away from
past
where I can do good
experience,
or bad.
from your past experience though.
It drove me to do what I wanted. And what I want is good for me, but sometimes not good for others. It may have not been good for my family, but it would have been good for money. It's a strange power.
Mhm. What prevented you from going into the tomb? You said it took you till there, but you came back.
I'm just afraid. I don't know if going that far is worth it.
Why are you still here?
Something keeps calling my name. Something is pushing me to do more, to do better, I don't know.
Can I talk to my buddy Alice? I say, Alice, we need to bring her with us because she knows where the tomb is, and
Mhm.
together with the three of us, we can do this together, and we'll.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I would
agree.
say
I
invite
agree.
her along.
Yeah, let's do that because she will help us reach there a lot faster than we could figure it out on our own. So yeah, I agree.
As you say all of these things to her, she just she nods and agrees, and then says, "Don't forget to fill up your water. It's perfectly fine here. Um, that's why the butterflies come, is the purity of the water. It doesn't require any filtration."
Because I'm reading
Okay.
her mind, can I pull a card? Is she telling me the truth?
I'm not even gonna make you pull for it because you
Okay.
had the previous thing. You now have this general sense and not a connection with her, but you now have such a good sense of her. Very obviously not lying.
Okay. I say she needs to come with us, Miss Alice.
Yeah, but I do want to ask her: has she ever tried purifying? And I'm gonna ask Queen Anaya here because we did try to purify it, and it did become something. So does she have a knowledge of that or not?
Did you use magic?
Yeah. No, I'm asking Queen Anaya in this
Oh,
case.
Queen Anaya.
Yep.
I think the question is maybe we need to ask her: did the magic that you used, because did it change the alter of the water? If it was already pure state, did your magic change it? Perhaps we maybe changed it.
Yeah, and like, do we want to share that with her or leave it as it is for the time
I
being?
would say we got to put all the cards on the table. Be honest, because if we're holding anything back from any of us, it's gonna break the trust.
Yeah, let's do that because we kind of know what she's thinking of as well at this point of time. So it's not like if she lies, we are not aware of it. So yeah, let's let her know about the fact that I did try to purify the water because I didn't know that it was already purified water, and something happened.
Uh, as you give this, so are you taking out and showing her the water? Are you giving her the?
I'm sharing it with her, and if she wants to check out the water, we can show her the water.
I am intrigued, but I don't know much about magic and your type of magic. Anything is possible here. Do you mind if I see it?
Sure. Yeah.
As you lift out the container, Alice, you have an immediate urge to once again sniff the container as you pull it out. So
Yeah.
now, previously it was a 4, now is anything above a 5.
Okay.
An ace! You perfectly hand off the container to her. Ace is high. You are good. You don't even flinch. You just, here you go. She looks at it very, very puzzled, and she sniffs it. And as she smells it, you see her take a very big inhale, and she says, "Oh, that is a that is such a magnificent aroma. Oh, I just want to keep smelling it again and again." And you see her sniff it again. What would you like to do?
And I take the bottle away. Not because she's sniffing it, and like, but I don't want her to kind of get high or whatever I'm going through. That troubled me the entire night.
So, as you pull the bottle away, she lets it go, but you notice there's a split second of hesitation of almost where she tried to hold on to the bottle just for a split second. All right, you have the bottle. You have that. It seems that she has no clue. This is completely foreign to her, just as much as all of you.
Oh my gosh. I wanna dump the bottle of water away before we walk away. But I'm also kind of thinking that it might be kind of important for the quest. What are your thoughts, Queen Anaya?
Alice, I am feeling that if this water's got such a powerful effect, that it might be a sign that we need to take it.
Yeah, let's take it. I give it off back to Queen Anaya.
All right.
Store in the backpack, yeah.
As you all pack up, and now the three of you head further down the road, you make your way for several hours as the sun is beginning now, is now rising more and more and more. And by right about midday, around noon, you are getting to what you now see as this possible temple. It seems to be completely forgotten, almost ruined, but very much still a standing structure. You see Terrell is starting to point out that there's one entrance to go through, and that you probably have at least 4 or 5 hours until the sandstorm is likely to come back.
Awesome. I think let's get in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Queen Anaya?
I'm with you, Alice. Let's. I think there's power in 3.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. As you step in, you walk into a very small room, strangely enough. It seems that there's maybe a little bit of windows, but not a whole lot of exits. A lot of steps and various statues, sand everywhere as you're looking around. What would you like to do? You, by the way, see Terrell is very anxious. She's walking in last. She's very unsure as she's walking through this. Yeah.
Can we do, I don't know, should we do a health check on nature once more to see what the scene is like here? Or should
This
we
one
ask?
is generally, you're just kind of investigating what does it look like. It's not this would be just a general look around.
Okay.
Well,
What do you want to do?
My
Oh.
recommendation is to stay together.
Yeah.
So, is there options to? Are we okay? Is this only one level? Are we exploring different levels, or?
Seemingly those other levels are just smaller added structures above you. Like this room just goes up higher and you can just see the tall ceiling. There doesn't seem to be multiple big levels of this. It's not a very large structure, it seems.
Okay.
I do want to ask Terrell how she is doing, if she's okay, before we move forward.
So
no.
do you want to ask her before you inspect, or do you want to inspect and then ask?
I want to ask her first, but Queen Anaya, your
I
call.
say I know time is of essence, so we have to make
Yeah.
sure that everybody's all on the
True,
same.
true,
So
true.
we have to talk. She's got to tell us what's
True,
going
yeah.
on.
I'm fine. Just a bit overwhelmed, but this is part of the journey. I'm ready to help in any way I can.
I would advise Alice to, all of us stay together. Again, I guess keep checking in on each other, and if we at one point feel overwhelmed, we need to talk and tell each other this.
Yep,
Make a
I
pact
agree.
that we will be honest and upfront and let us each of us know when something is out of sorts with us.
I
That
agree.
would be my suggestion.
I agree. If any one of us needs anything, just let us know. Being communicative is very important. I think, especially in this part of the quest. So, yeah.
Terrell looks at Alice and says, I could use a hug. Does Alice hug?
Sure. I don't see any harm in it at this point in time.
All right.
Just making me fall in love with a fictional character, I guess. But yeah, go.
The two of you embrace, and you can tell as you hug Terrell that there's initially there is this. It's not really like quivering. It's almost just she gets a little more relaxed in the embrace, and however brief it is, and just as you pull apart, you again feel kind of her stiffen up. That there was this kind of relaxation of being able to let go and maybe for just a split second let the burden go on somebody else for whatever in the world is going on with her.
If she wants to add me down for holding hands with her and walking through it, if that helps. Yeah, just generally, I think it also helps to have some level of like anchor when you're going through something really difficult. And so if she's up for it, I'd be down to just hold her hand. And I think all three of us can also hold hands and just go through this together, knowing that we're anchored in this space.
If you don't mind, I'll just anchor in the memory of the hug. I've seen your hands be on fire before, and I'd rather not hold it just quite yet.
Go, man. Sure. I don't mind. I'm here if you need to hold my hand. But yeah.
Alice never needs hand warmers. She is a hand warmer. Fantastic. So you once again turn around to look at this. And at this point, what would you like to do? Would you like to investigate, look for something specific?
Do we need to look for something specific?
At this point, you just know that this is a tomb. And from what you know, this doesn't look like a tomb. You don't see any sort of burial things. You see statues, but it doesn't look like a tomb.
I don't know if we need. Can Terrell tell us if this is the place to go, or do we need to keep going? Because if this is not where we need to be, we need to keep moving.
This is the building, but she's never been inside, so she doesn't know where now from here what happens.
All right, Alice. I think we have to explore. If we're in the right place, we got to explore.
Yeah. I would agree. Because we are short on time. We have 4 to 5 hours before the sandstorm hits. Ooh, this time warp here.
Because you're gonna have to find out. I can't tell you that.
Can we do a card pull now or later?
Up to you. Would you like to do a card before you investigate, or?
I don't know because. Okay, Queen Anaya, here are my 2 thoughts. Do we need to know if time warps in here, and if it does, can we keep track of it somehow? This new time, just so that we can stay on track. What are your thoughts?
I think we need to pull a card because then we'll know where we're standing.
Yeah. Those 2 questions: can time warp here, and if it does, how can we keep track of it in relation to the time outside, just so that we can keep everything going.
So you wanna see if you can investigate if there's a time difference?
Yep.
That's a 2. No idea. Literally no clue.
Yes, we investigate.
We need to investigate.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, my question though, because I know we are on a time warp. My concern is, and I'm trying to keep us together, but sometimes I think it would be faster if we looked around separately. But I don't want to go too far. So, is this the one room? Are we all going to be in this one room?
As you've entered, this seems to be the one room, and all three of you could investigate this one room if you decided to.
Let's investigate it together. If we do end up separating, can't do anything about it. But for the time being, I think because this is the only room we can see, let's investigate together just for ensuring that everyone stays together.
Since you're doing all of this together, we're going to again pull 2 cards, and you're going to get the highest of the 2 cards since you're all working together to accomplish one goal. So your first card is a 7, and your next card is the unicorn card. There's only one unicorn card in the deck. And
I don't know how about.
the unicorn card allows, first of all, whatever you do, whatever you were trying to do, succeeds perfectly. We'll get to that. But on top of it, you get to make a wish. So you get to make whatever you want happen. I may have to tweak a little bit how it happens, but you now get to make a wish of what specific thing do you want to sort of happen or change or get, or what do you want?
Queen Anaya, I think it would be best if we wish for just finding the tomb, finding the passage, and find the tomb as
Yeah.
quickly as we can.
I'm with you, Miss Alice. Let's find the tomb.
Let's go.
All right. So as you all look around, you notice that there seems to be a fake, almost like a fake wall along one of the edges. And as you go behind there, you notice that actually there's almost like a little room that from most angles would look just like it was just a wall, and it looked exactly like all the others. Maybe only if you were looking from the outside would you realize that that's kind of interesting. There seems to be an extra hidden space and compartment there. As you find your way through, it seems that it's very easy to access because of the debris and everything and how much it's crumbled. It's actually pretty easy to get into. And as you're walking in and looking in there, you come into a room where you see 3 very, very old levers. They're just basically giant sticks with just rope on them. That seemingly the rope goes further away into the wall somewhere where you cannot tell. You notice that one is separated a little bit further away from the other 2 by a column, and that one seems to have been pulled more often by far. The other 2 seem maybe not as much wear and tear, but maybe have also been pulled a time or 2 as well. You're now standing in this room, and you have a pretty strong inclination that you probably need to pull one of these levers or a combination of these levers in order to unlock more secrets of this tomb. What would you like to do?
We did pull the card and the wish that we would find the tomb as soon as possible. So does some of the magic play a role in us having an idea as to what is going to be the best thing to do?
Well, basically, you think you should pull the one on the very far right. you have a very, very strong feeling that the lever on the far right is the lever that you should pull.
Queen Anaya, your call.
We gotta pull the lever.
Let's go pull the lever.
We have to pull the lever.
Yeah.
All 3 of
pull the
us
lever.
pull this lever.
All right. You pull the lever, and you hear nothing. And then you realize that, oh, there's a little more extra that you have to kind of press down the lever. It kind of got a little bit stuck. And as you do that, you hear this interesting, like, shuffling, sliding, like stone on stone with sandpaper kind of sound. It's very brief, and there's a loud boom that you hear coming from the center of the chamber. What would you like to do next?
Investigate, I guess.
We have to send somebody. I think we might have opened the tomb on the other side.
Yeah.
But
Let's
the whole thing is
investigate.
when trying to stay together. Do we go together?
Let's. Yeah, I think it would be good to go together because I don't see any reason to separate yet. Uh, yeah, I
We're
guess we
gonna go
investigate.
investigate. Yes.
The three of you make your way into the tomb. The tomb looks very, very similar. It doesn't look like anything's changed or looks any different. As you walk into the tomb, you start going, "This is weird. Why?" And as you step into the middle platform of it, you all of a sudden feel it wobble and shift. And as it leans forward, you feel the three of you are starting to slide down into another part. Do you let yourself keep sliding? Do you want to try to jump off? What would you like to do?
I don't keep sliding.
I'm with Alice. I'm thinking we need to jump off. I'm not trying to slide either.
Okay. We're going to do basically a check for acrobatics and athletics to see are you able to jump off at this point? It's a very kind of slow slide. It's not anything like to that point. But so it will be very easy. Above a 6, you'll absolutely be fine. Anything below, we'll see what happens. So the first one for Alice is a 5. Queen Anaya is a 3. And Terrell gets a 9.
Ooh.
So Terrell is, as she sees that you two are trying to jump off, she scrambles up and is able to leap off and jump and kind of grab onto one of the statues. As she watches the two of you trying to stand up, but then legs slipping and kind of tumbling one over the other as you tumble further into seeming darkness.
Oh dang! I was kind of hoping she would save us.
I think we can always form a chain. Hopefully, one can grab the other, and then swing us up that way.
As you tumble in, you feel kind of almost like an extra gust of wind as this happens, as this tilts, almost like more and more air is entering wherever you are. And as you stand up and look around where you are, there seems to be some kind of a hallway in front of you. There's even lights now that perhaps that were coming in from somewhere from the outside, that maybe certain spaces of sand were cleared away. And what you see along all of this hallway is these numerous statues of stone birds. They look so close to almost realistic birds, but they are very much made of stone all along this way. This looks a little more like a way to a tomb than anything you've seen this far. What would you like to do?
I want to check because that looks like a definitive trap. Like, are those birds gonna peck my eyes out or something? I don't know. It looks like they can. Yeah. Can we check for traps?
Sure, you can check for traps. With a 4, doesn't seem like a trap.
Okay. It's like with a 4, you might not be able to check for traps. I was like, oh dang it. Okay. What do you want to do? Queen Anaya, your call. Oh, we can't hear you.
I would come this far. We got to keep going. Since we're all still together, I say we go for it.
Are you calling Terrell to come join you, or?
Yes, I say all three of us.
Yeah, we invite her down. Like, come to our little space.
All right.
It looks nice.
She kind of nimbly leaps down and does this kind of little slide and lands perfectly, knowing that it's there. Looks a little bit like a show off at this point. It's just
I was
really...
thinking that. I was like, come on, really?
Are you proceeding down the hallway?
My concern is, I would say all of us, but somebody sometimes might have to go ahead.
Ooh.
But
I'm down for going ahead. I don't mind. I am down to do like a quick. Let me check it out.
Okay. Are you trying to stealth? Are you trying to anything special, or just I'm just gonna go check it out, just go look for stuff?
I'm gonna make sure that I have like fire burning in my hand to basically once again protect myself.
Mm-hmm. It's also adding
But
some nice extra light, so you're able to see very well down here now.
yeah, for sure. But I would like to have the fire almost as a defensive skill,
Mhm.
or not defensive or offensive, depends on the scenario in this point. But I'm down to go there at this point in time. Yeah, just walk right in.
Okay. As you make your way down, you pass several around the corner, other similar hallways and rooms. You continue seeing things of just these bird statues just littering the entire space, seemingly everywhere. Um, and you see that maybe other people were buried here, as you find kind of offshoots of possibly other burial chambers. Um, but as you make your way, you finally get to a point where you see a massive chamber with the sarcophagus in the middle of it, still littered all around with birds.
Do the birds signify anything? Can we figure it out from the amount of travel we have done so far? Any patterns, any things that the birds signify this?
With an 8, you can tell that these birds are not necessarily native, that there's something different to all of this. They're definitely not birds that you've seen around here. This is something different for sure. Also, not something that you're used to seeing in normal burial sites of kings or anybody. Is like one would be fine. This number of them is just odd.
Yeah,
Sort of reminds me of the butterflies.
right. I was thinking that too. Are they gonna attack or are they just peaceful? Do we have any idea? Like, have we seen anyone like glinting their eyes as we moved
My
past?
question is, how much water do we still have?
You still have, because you also, I'm guessing you topped off because Terrell told you to top off at that point. You're still about right there at 80-70%, because you were able to top off in the morning when you left Oasis.
I don't know. There's something about the water and this birds is just coming up for me. I don't know.
Could be something with the potion. So I don't know. I know, but
At this point, Alice, you've gone ahead. The others haven't followed you. They don't know what you've seen.
ooh, okay. So no one has any idea except for me. Okay.
Unless you
Do
want to go
I?
back and tell them.
Dang it! We should have done a signal like caw caw before I went down the road.
Or we should have had a timer. Like, if we don't come back in 5 minutes, we're coming after
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I feel like we were starting to come. If we didn't hear from her, we were going to start
Yeah.
coming. So did we start coming because we didn't stay anyway?
Yeah. Was I just doing like a quick let me check it out and then these people kind of coming? I think that would make a lot more sense than them just staying there at this point in time. Yeah. So I think they're just following right behind me, but not like that close to me. I'm
Mhm.
ahead, but they're kind of catching up to me. Um, while I'm staring at the sarcophagus in the middle of the room.
Okay. As you they follow you, as everybody's looking around, I'll go ahead and pull, because you've asked about the birds. You're not noticing anything nefarious or glinting or trapsy about the birds. They genuinely seem to be just a lot of bird statues made out of stone.
Yeah.
You know that potentially various kings and various pharaohs and such have their different things that they might have been buried with, and that maybe this was just something very peculiar about the Desert King, but that's it.
Okay then. I guess I wait for everyone to catch up at this point in time, making sure that there are no traps till they reach the sarcophagus
Okay.
before I make any decisions here.
As you walk into the main chamber a little bit more, checking for traps with a 3. No traps. I don't know.
I don't know.
To
I
you,
don't.
it looks clear.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is where we need to double check on everybody, make sure that we're all
Uh huh.
okay. Checking our
Yeah.
stress levels here as we
Yeah.
proceed, because I don't want to lose Terrell and I don't want to lose Alice.
Yeah.
Terrell looks very sure of herself. It seems that the birds and everything is not terrifying. Whatever fears might have been in her mind about what this will hold, seemingly doesn't hold up a candle to what she's seeing. Perhaps the actual sandstorm is far worse than what the tomb is for her.
Ooh. Okay.
Alice, we never figured out. We never asked Terrell what was she. Was she sharpening
Upgrade.
something? Did she have a weapon? We need to
Yeah.
know what's in our arsenal in case we have to battle this sandstorm.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of that too. Um, but wait, we are at the sarcophagus at this point in time, aren't we? Like we are all
You
kind of
you are at the entrance to the main room with the sarcophagus.
and have Queen Anaya and Tyrell caught up to me yet?
Yes. You all
Okay.
three of you are standing right there.
Okay, then I'll say that I don't sense any traps, but I'm not sure. If anyone wants to do a quick run through, they can definitely see if there are any traps or anything along those lines. Yeah.
By the way, Queen and I, you do notice that on her hip, Terrell does have a long curved scimitar in a sheath.
Ooh la la.
I just need to know what we have in our arsenal. Who's got what power, what, so we all can fight. Yeah, that's all I need to know. What are we fighting with? Because I think we're about to go down to a battle if we have to, because we're running out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we kind of are at the entrance and we're like, let's go in, I guess. Unless anyone wants to check for traps, because I don't see anything happening yet. So, yeah.
Um,
Can
Queen and
Alice see
I, do
the
you want to
bridge?
check for traps or no? It's your choice.
I want to. My question is, Miss Alice, you can see the future.
I was gonna say that. Should I see the future?
You need to see what the future might be looking at. Are we good in this future? Do you see something good in this future?
Okay, I want to check for future in a scenario like this. I want to see if we can complete the quest that we came here for, which is finding out more about the Desert King, and do it safely without anyone getting hurt from our team.
With the Queen, you can very well tell that you will be able to complete your quest, that you will be able to interact with the king in some manner,
Mhm.
but it is very clouded and unsure because of the amount of possibilities
Mhm.
of the safety of your team.
Ooh. I
So
guess it
you definitely get that there are possibilities to where everybody's fine, but there's no certainty in fortune telling, as you well know.
yeah.
I would consult with my Allison and say, we've come this far. All we
Let's
can do
keep
is
going.
keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. Can't do
All right.
anything else but.
As the three of you step forward into the room, you hear an immediate crash as not even just a door, but almost a stone wall seemingly closes behind you. And you feel an extra chill in the air, as what you notice is this. The sarcophagus seemingly has half of some sort of a humanoid perched atop of it with some bowl seemingly with something in front. There's no motion. There's nothing you can tell right now, but this is what you see in front of you. You hear a gasp from Terrell. What would you like to do?
Check in.
check in with her?
I have the feeling. I have the feeling that I have with the sandstorm.
I'm like, is there any more?
I was waiting. I was like, what do you feel?
She seems to be kind of closing her eyes and centering herself. You can't tell much more than that at this point.
Well, if you need anything, we are here. I think that's all we can offer at this point in time. Queen Anaya?
She puts out her hand, open palm towards Alice.
Yeah, well, I hold her.
I would say Alice might need to give her that water.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I give her the water and then my hand. Like, I was something.
Well, you give her hand, somebody's going to have to give her some water. So that water's going to have to
Yeah.
go somewhere.
Are
I don't
you
know
giving
if
her
it
the
goes in that-
special water? What are you doing?
The normal water, I think.
Normal
I don't
water?
think-
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't.
No. Ooh, Queen Anaya. Thoughts. Okay, hold on. We need to do a quick check-in
Yeah, we
with the
need to do a
team.
check with the water. I don't know if
Yeah.
the water goes to her or if it goes to the boat, but I think that water has something to do with this.
I don't know. Your thoughts. I think we can give her the water to sip the water and then give it back to us. I don't know. Kind of stuck here. Um. Yeah. Queen Anaya, your call.
My God, oh, you're gonna make me. So, what's our options here?
We can give her the water to drink and give it back to us, or we can have her hold the water, or we can just go ahead and proceed.
I would say give her the water.
We give her
Okay.
the water. Yeah.
Is this the special water?
The normal one. I think.
Okay. You give her some normal water, and she kind of she takes it, but you feel like she gives you this glance, Alice, of almost being like a little hurt, of almost being a little turned away.
Deal with it.
Alice, we gotta
Um,
give her the water.
Yeah.
But as she takes the sip and gives it back to you, all three of you then look again at the sarcophagus,
Hmm.
and you see ever so slightly the chin of the figure just turn a little bit, just move ever so slightly, as if curiously taking you in.
Ooh. I think we should just go and stand in front of the tomb. I mean, we came so far. I don't think we can do pretty much anything else. But Queen Anaya, what do you think?
I'm holding water tight since we didn't give her the magic water, but we can we have to move closer to see
Yeah.
is there a
we move
message.
closer. We
Okay.
move closer. Yeah.
What would you
We're
like
moving
to?
far.
So you're stepping up to the sarcophagus.
Yep.
Yes.
As you step up to the sarcophagus, you notice that there is ever so slightly more and more animation in this figure as you get closer. All of a sudden, you notice that there's maybe, strangely, because very obviously it is not living, but almost this natural rhythmic rising of the chest as with breathing. And the closer and closer you get, you notice that there is ever a spark in the sockets where the eyes used to be. And it looks at the two of you and seemingly looks past you at Terrell. And you see fear on her face as all of a sudden this figure looking at her says, "Welcome back."
I knew it. Damn it. I knew it.
What would you like to do?
I like to draw my weapon, like just have our weapons at the ready while also just be like, bro, you told us you never were here. Like, what's up? Maybe question her, but also like have our weapons kind of drawn to protect us if we need to protect us.
What weapon do you have?
I will say, what weapon do I have? I don't have a weapon. I don't think I have a weapon.
I don't believe I don't believe Queen Anaya has a
I
weapon.
don't have a
technically.
weapon except for
It's
speed,
not
if
bad.
anything. I can.
I have fire enough to protect all of us, I guess. I
Okay,
have
so you're
enough
kind
of
of
that magic
drawing
power.
up fists of fire.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, Quinn and I, you can always, I don't know, you can growl or are you trying
I can
to?
run. That's the only thing I can think of. I got speed. I will grab Alice and roll. We'll roll.
Yeah. So I think we draw our weapons and we look back at Jirel, I guess. Queen and I, like, what's up with you telling us not having been here?
No, I don't. I want to say I don't want to leave Terrell. I
Yeah.
think she's our
Oh no, we won't leave her, but we will also kind of maybe question her about the fact that this dude did say welcome back.
I was have to say, what does that mean? Let's ask
Yeah.
her, what does that mean?
We ask her what it means.
Not the
Liar.
hall, but what does that mean?
You see that she's staring straight at him, not taking her eyes off of that figure and going, I don't know. I've never been here, but I have felt this. I have felt this drive, this need to make something happen that I must overcome, that I must succeed for all the reasons, for my family, for my village, she's starting to really spiral and lose this and have all of these things. As she does that, you see the lightning tattoos are starting to glow and glow. And again, you're starting to see that energy coming up behind her. Again, more and more, spreading more and more light here as she's doing that.
I say, Alice, grab her hand.
Yeah, I was gonna do that because of the fact that she did stuff or try to stuff my power when we first met. And so I do want to rush to her to kind of just once again anchor her down by holding onto her hand and like making her look at me like, yo, look here, we are here. Like just try to center her or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, that feeling is rather overwhelming. So it's going to be you against that feeling. And I'm going to say that the feeling is mounting. So you're going to have to get above a 9 in order to succeed.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's a 7.
Oh, dang it.
So as you run in and you grab her hand, I hope obviously you put out the fire before you grab her hand. It doesn't seem to work. You try to go in almost for an embrace, and you see her she's trying to hyperventilate. And as she's doing that, this energy almost starts swirling around her. And you're seeing some of the sand from the floor. It's starting to almost pick up in this swirling pattern around her. And as it happens, you just hear from the sarcophagus figure again going, another one.
Dang it, she is the Sandstorm, isn't it? Queen Anaya, do you feel comfortable giving me the magic water to make her?
I was gonna say yes. Give her the water. Yes, we need that water.
Just make her snap out of it with another potentially powerful potion that also has drawing features to it.
Okay. So are you just trying to kind of show her the water? Are you trying to
we're gonna open it.
Water? Okay.
We're gonna open it, and I'll potentially try to make her drink it as I'm holding her hand, because I still haven't left it. Like, she did push me away when I was trying to embrace her, but I'm holding her hand while trying to give her the water.
Okay. I'm going to make it, because before you were just trying to ground her, this is going to be even higher. You're going to have to get a jack or higher in order to be able to do this, because that's tough. That's a 3.
Oh, dang it.
You're trying, but it just can't. And almost this energy pushes you back, and your back hits this sarcophagus. and you still have this open liquid there, and you hear from behind you, interesting. As you turn around, you see that this figure is staring not at you, not at Terrell, but at the bottle.
You said there's a bowl, right?
There is sort of this strange, kind of a bowl with some kind of a structure in it.
What if we offer it up to him?
Before we do that, can we ask him what can we do to help Tyrell get back? If you want this, if this seems interesting, tell us how to help her.
Oh, there's no helping her. She has done this to herself.
What do you want?
I want less people to end up like me.
How did you end up?
I became the Sandstorm. And I worry that I've only made more sandstorms.
Vinanaya, do you want to ask how to not become a sandstorm and help people who have become sandstorms?
I would ask, how do we help? Because I'm thinking he's done turned Terrell into a sandstorm, so we have to figure out how to counteract that.
Yeah, but I think she did it to herself. It's just...
Are we missing something here?
You see him, as you kind of generally ask this and discussing this, you see him lift one of his bony fingers up to his temple and say, "It's all in the mind. You can't affect her mind."
Oh,
Can
Vinanaya, you can. Right?
I can read her thoughts. I can shut her up.
Yes.
I can shut him up. I thank you for reminding me. I can shut him up and read his mind. I forgot about that.
Do that.
So what would you like to do?
Maybe
him up.
shut up Tyrell first so that she can stop.
I don't think he was talking. She wasn't talking, I don't think.
No, but we can get her back before we do that to him. Maybe, I don't know. Your call, Queen Anaya. It's your powers.
I'm thinking we need to read the esophagus mind.
Mm-hmm.
Shut him up
Okay.
and ask him what does he mean by that.
All right. Let's see what happens. So obviously he's gonna resist you.
Of course.
So the first card is again for you, and the second card is gonna be for him. So with a jack, that's pretty good. And he gets an ace.
Oh, he resisted me.
So as he resists you, all of a sudden, it is so powerful and strong, you feel like you're actually, instead of seeing his mind, he pulls you into his mind, and almost pulls the control out of you. You start seeing these glimpses and these various images. And what you're seeing is a young man as he grows up in various parts of the desert. You see as he goes through and trying to do good deeds after so many people. And he finds a huge affinity for animals throughout the desert. And that many different individuals and animals and everybody come to him as he's able to speak to animals equally as well as humans. You see that he's developing this huge cohort of all of these different animals that he can discuss with and really impact the life of the desert and the surrounding areas. And you see that he's being bestowed the moniker of the King of the Desert. And as more and more people come, you see that he seemingly is starting to turn. A little bit of his beard starts to drip into sand. And as more and more requests are put on him, as more and more stress is put on him, more and more of him seemingly turning to sand, until finally, as you watch this man fall apart into a large pile of sand that immediately whirls up and turns into an enormous sandstorm around all of these people, as you see all the animals scattering and everybody running away. And you see this sandstorm traveling all across the desert, and many, many decades later, finding this tomb that was erected for the king of the desert as it comes to rest there. That is what you see as he has pulled you into his vision.
I'm being pulled into his vision, so Alice, I'm thinking, give me the water so I can offer
I'm
it to
thinking,
him.
I'm thinking the same thing. Like, either you have a sip of the water, or
Or-
you give it him.
To be fair, so it's for you. You've experienced this. This was like he wanted to show you these memories,
Mhm.
but he's not letting you have your power access to any
Mm.
memories that you want. He's simply showing you certain memories. You don't feel like you were forced. You are now out of it completely.
Okay.
You can still
I'm
smell
not,
the water.
I'm not
just-
out of it, right?
yeah.
I'm not out of it. So I'm
You're
in
out of it, but you can very much go like, oh, I definitely just saw somebody's memories.
So I see some pain. I see some pain. So I'm feeling not so attractive. I need it. I need to talk to Alice. Alice,
Talk to me.
I-
please, talk to me.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that he's just too painful. It's just they're. If we offer a gesture of kindness, it
We
might
should.
help.
Yeah, we should do something for him. Yeah, I would like to do something for him. That would be simply offering the water to him as a gesture of kindness.
Okay. Do you offer the water?
Mm-hmm.
You offer it, and he kind of signals you to sort of pour it over the bowl. And as you pour it, the whole entire cavern seems to fill with an amazing smell. And here's the interesting part. Floral to you, Alice. Something very different for you, Queen and I. A very pleasant smell, a very nice smell, but something from your past that is just seemingly memorable. And that just puts you into this immediate ease that you just want to go back and live in that. And you feel all of the turmoil and all of this whirling sand start to fall down as you see Terrell overtaken by the smell, also calming down. As she looks to you, Alice, and she goes, "Was that the anchor? Is this what you meant?" You see that she's a little bit lost and a little bit out of it.
Yeah, I go to hug her.
You rush over, and there's absolutely no resistance. There's a hug. There's definitely an embrace. And as you then look at the features of this, for the lack of a better term, humanoid, because it's basically a skeleton, there's almost a calm. There's almost this calm after the storm, that it is now peaceful. It is now that this sandstorm aspect has been resolved with this idea of anchoring in something beloved, something cherished, something that doesn't always have to be stressful for all of us. As this happens, you feel the door / wall that was behind you that closed open. As it opens, you make your way out very quickly, because Queen and I was like, I'm out of here as soon as we possibly can be. I'm done with this. You make your way, you rush all the way out through the corridors as far as you can, and you come to the point where the floor dropped, and what you now see in front of you is a stairwell that goes perfectly out of it. What you see outside is possibly a sandstorm, an aftermath of a sandstorm that was beginning to brew in this area, as things have kind of moved a little bit in terms of the dunes. But it seems that you have, for now, found the fix to the Sandstorms, the incredibly stressful endeavors that people have undertaken that have driven them to become destructive to those around them when they simply were stressed to provide for those around them as much as they wanted to. You make your way out of the tomb and back to the village. As you're going back, and you stop by the oasis yet again, Terrell doesn't want to go back to the village with you, as she still feels that she might be a danger to so many. What would you like to do?
I like to tell her that I'm here if she needs the support, but she can't let this one aspect rule over her entire life and keep her logged into the world that she's afraid of, that she needs to take that step forward, um, and trust that there's not only going to be me, but a bunch of other people who would appreciate her and be her anchor in this world. And that's what I would like to tell her, that it might be scary, but you're not doing it alone. It might be stressful, but I'm here to act as an anchor and I'm here to support uh, any way that she needs me to support her.
With another embrace and the holding of hands, you make your way back to the village. Queen Anaya, you recall back the story that you've collected. You have now collected two incredible stories, which empower you both from Terrell's experience as well as the king's experience to now be able to share such wisdom from these two large experiences. And as you make your way to the village where you began, with the water guy looking just completely shocked that you're coming back with Terrell and what in the world is going on. And it's barely been 3 days at this point, as you've moved through all of this, because the journey back took a little while longer. You had to camp again. That is where we're gonna finish off. As you have ventured into the desert, you have found the stresses of the sandstorm, and you have figured out the stories that may keep us from living the lives we want. Thank you both for playing.
Thank you. That was such a beautiful. Oh my god. That was so well crafted. Oh my god. Yes. No, I seriously am at a loss for words because that was so well crafted. From the start to the finish, it helped us stay grounded as well as bring forth our messages, but also do it in such an exciting way because I literally felt like a kid. I was like, oh no, oh yeah, let's go.
I'm like, yay!
Those card pulls, man. Oh my god, I was like, yeah, I loved it.
Sometimes you get mad because you go, come on.
Can't it be simple? No, it can't.
I will say my favorite, I think, honestly, was when Queen and I took off without Alice. I think that
Oh
was
my gosh,
that was my favorite card pull of that interaction.
oh my god, I knew because she pulled a 6, the Tyrell, now you know her, that she pulled a 10, and then
Yeah.
Queen Anaya goes off, and I was like, hold on, this seems too. I'm like, oh shit, I'm no longer on her, am I? Like, nope. Oh my god, if you watch the replay, you can go back to the moment where I had that realization of I'm no longer on her, am I? Oh no, oh shit. Dang it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I will say there are certain things that you also you did because you wanted to do them, and that's fair. I was wondering how you were going to handle the birds, and I love that it's a trap. It's something bad. It has to be bad. It's a tomb with birds. It's the worst thing ever, of course.
I will say I've seen enough mummy movies, and
Yeah.
as a stress expert, I am often telling people that be prepared. It's okay to be prepared ahead of time than to be like in the situation and then be like, oh, I should have. Like that caca moment, I was like, why didn't I put a signal to them? Like, if I say caca, they can know that everything's fine and they can come. Oh
If
my
you
God.
decided to do caca, it was going to be an interesting moment because it's also a bunch of birds. So do they think it's
I-
actually Alice or all the birds?
I
my
was impressed of the fact that you don't until you've gone to it and you hit the next thing. It's like, oh, we didn't ask about this. We forgot about asking about this. We should have asked about this. So it was those afterthoughts. We didn't see what weapons we have. That's something we should have checked ahead of time.
Yeah.
God.
Sort of like real life sometimes, of where you're going, oh, what did I, like when you go to the doctor and then you're like, I was supposed to ask him like 3 things. I completely forgot what I was supposed to say. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was fun. This was fun.
This-
Made you
yeah.
think. I was
Wonderful.
rooting for the cars too. Like,
You never know. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the live there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This was a blast.
Thank you.
And we
Thank
got to go into
you.
the desert.